Joining us now, a Bismarck High Demon. She is Paige Breuer, part of the 2024 North Dakota Lions All-Star Basketball Series. Our player profile brought to you in part by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. And Paige, for you to get nominated your senior year to an all-star game like this in North Dakota, just take us through the moment when you found out and what does it mean to you?
Oh, it's completely an honor. I mean, to be given the opportunity to play with and against some of the top players in the state is super exciting. And plus, I get to play on my home court, the court that I've called home for the past 4 years, one last time, and play with Jersey, who's absolutely my best friend, and to be coached by Shetler one last time. I'm super excited.
Yeah, it's kind of the Bismarck trifecta a little bit there, right? The coach, the teammate, the court one more time. What does that mean to you to represent Bismarck High girls basketball and have that opportunity to both be there with Jersey a little bit, but also your coach? What does that just kind of add to, being the nomination? How does that kind of just impact it a little bit more for you here, Paige?
Well, when I was 10, all the way up until high school, I've dreamed of playing being a part of the Lions All-Star game, and just to be able to do that with my best friend and with coach one last time it's super exciting. And I hope that other little girls are looking at us and hope to be in our spot one day too. So
when you saw the rosters get announced for the AA team, was there someone or a couple of teammates that are going to be actual teammates, so to speak, and sort of guarding against them for a change? Was there one or two players that you're excited to have on your squad coming up in July?
Well, obviously Jersey. I mean, to play with her one last time is going to be awesome. But also Eden Fridley. We grew up on the same travel team for most of our lives and AAU team. And as soon as we hit high school, we're like, oh, like, shoot, now we have to go against each other. So I'm really excited to play with Eden too.
When you look at this, Paige, your basketball career, this is kind of the bow, so to speak, on the high school version of your basketball career. So what are some of your favorite memories when it comes to basketball, whether it's growing up, high school, or something in between? What's one or two memories that stand out the most for you?
Well, high school, summer camps were always super fun. I mean, we went to Colorado, South Dakota, everywhere, and just the car rides that we had and going to Top Golf, that's always super fun in the summer. And then, of course, this past season was just a dream come true. I mean, it was super fun. It was an incredible journey. No one expected us to get there, and just to be able to do that and prove everyone wrong was super exciting. Of course, it didn't end the way that we wanted to, but it doesn't matter because the lessons that I've learned from it are far greater than a championship.
Yeah, able to play in your home city in a championship game. Not a lot of people can say they've been able to do that. And as you kind of move ahead, Paige, for that next generation that you kind of already alluded to, your 10-year-old self wanting to play in this game. But for someone who's maybe knocking on the door of a varsity level, wants to maybe be an all-conference, all-state player or have a chance to play at an all-star game like this, what would be some words of advice that you'd like to pass down for the next group that's kind of coming up?
I think what I would tell my freshman self or even younger is have no regrets from day one, meaning to leave it all out there, every practice, every game, because you'll never get this time back. And it goes so fast. So just enjoy every moment of it because it's just amazing to be a part of something like this and to always be grateful for every single opportunity that you're given.
I know when we recorded this interview, you're still to be determined in terms of what your future plans were in the fall, but you wanted to study pre-med. So let's talk about that a little bit. What made medicine and pre-med just going to be the right thing for you kind of once you got through high school and trying to figure out what you wanted to kind of do, post-high school a little bit here, Paige?
Yeah. Well, no one in my family has ever, besides I have an aunt who's a nurse, but other than that, like both my parents are engineers, and so no one's really ever been in medicine in my family. And ever since I was 6, I remember telling my mom, I'm going to be a doctor one day, you just wait, I'm going to be the greatest doctor ever. And I've stuck with that throughout high school. Taking a ton of AP classes in science and math has just, I think, proved to myself that I can do it, and that those are my favorite classes. So going medicine has just always been a part of my life.
Take us through Superstitious. Did you have to do anything as a team? Did you have to do anything as an individual before you got to the opening tip? Or was it, hey, let's just get to warm-ups, get to the opening tip and see what happens during the game?
I have a ton of superstitions. I was probably the worst on our high school team. I always had to wear the same socks and I had to put my shoes on the same way. I had to put my knee pads on the same way. Had to put my jersey on the same way. Like it was crazy. It was probably a little bit over the top, but yeah, I was probably definitely the worst.
When you look back and from your coaches, whether it's your head coach to the assistants to somewhere in between, what's something that you learned from them that you want to take with you, outside of basketball, so to speak, the 8 to 5, part of the day? Paige, what was something that you learned from your coaches that you're going to take with you moving forward?
Yeah, well, just this past season, again, just never giving up and trusting the process. But one thing that really sticks out to me and I will hopefully take throughout my whole life is Shet really taught me how to be gritty. I was never the biggest or the strongest on the court, and everyone knew that. Shet knew that ever since I was 7 going to his camps. And so he just taught me that he had so much belief in me that he taught me that every single time I step on the court, I just need to be gritty. I need to act like I'm the strongest and fastest and tallest on the court if I want to be successful. And so that's something I hope to take into the next steps of my life.
Well, thing for me, Paige, what was a challenge on the court, right? Obviously, some people enjoy, those floaters or getting to a 3-point line, maybe getting us after it defensively. What was something that was a challenge that you were able to continue to grow, in basketball kind of the last couple of years for you?
Um, I think coming in my freshman year, I was really a big 3-point shooter, which is obviously really good, but I wanted to be able to develop my game. Again, being short and not super strong, getting to the rim was always a challenge. So I think my dad and I kind of compromised there, and we really worked on my mid range, getting that to be as to be the best that it can be. So that's something that I really developed over my high school years, and I hope to take into college.
Hey, Paige, congratulations again on being nominated to Lions All-Star Basketball Series, and best of luck moving forward.
All right, thank you.
Join us now for the Fargo Davies Eagles. Alpha Camara with us now, part of our player profile for the Lions All-Star Basketball Series, brought to you in part by the Hillsborough Economic Development Corporation. Alpha, for you to get nominated, particularly to an event like this in the state of North Dakota, what does it mean for you specifically to be nominated to this All-Star game?
It means a lot. Like I've been wanting to play in this since I started high school. Like that's when I first heard about it. Like, oh man, that seems kind of cool. Playing an All-Star game and I'm actually in it. So it was good.
Able to continue on as well and play a little bit more collegiate basketball, heading to a JUCO down in Arizona. Just take us through that journey of having a chance to continue to play in hoops and what made, Arizona, that state and that particular JUCO college be the right fit for you.
I feel blessed to, continue playing basketball. I've been playing basketball since I was a kid. And Arizona's a nice place, warm. Unlike Fargo, where it gets real cold, you don't even want to go to school, man. It'd be that cold. Like, to continue playing basketball over at a place like that, and the coaches, all of them seem so nice to me. It's now, you know what I mean? Like, I just feel blessed. Like, I couldn't ask for anything more.
When you saw the rosters that came out on the AA side, was there a couple of players in particularly that you're looking forward to having an opportunity to hoop with, in terms of you don't have to guard them or don't have to worry about an EDC game, coming down to the wire here, Alpha?
Yeah, Eric Pay, man, that dude is strong as crap, man. Like, he posts me up, I'll be flying back. But yeah, maybe him or all the guys on the team are like good and stuff like that. So I'll give them their props. But
when you take a look at a question that someone might ask, what does it take to be an all-conference player, or what does it take to, get nominated to an all-star game like this? What would be some words of advice that you'd like to pass down for the next generation coming up here, Alpha?
I'm going to say play your role, man. I got like 2 guys on my team that are great. You know what I mean? I stuck and did my role, and I played my role well enough to be considered an all-conference player and make the Lions All-Star game.
I know some people will take a look and maybe it was the dunks, others will be the blocks. What do you like as a basketball player? You like getting a swat shot and some rebounds, or you like, putting 2 hands and throwing one down on the offensive side?
I'm going to say blocks. I've been good at blocking for so long now. Like, I'm going to say block. Those are the most exciting ones, especially like on a fast break when I like smack it off the backboard or like glass somebody. I guess the team energized. You know what I mean? I love it.
When you're able to look back at some of your favorite basketball memories, what's 1 or 2 that kind of stick out more so than others?
State, when York threw the lob off the backboard, I was not expecting that at all. I mean, I've never practiced that. Like my junior year, because I was last year, like my junior year, I was not good at catching lob. Like it was mainly just me dunking on myself. Like I was not good at catching lob. And he threw it, and I was like, oh crap. So I was like, hopefully I get this, and I got it. Another one would probably be I got a block against South at home on James. I got a tech early. I got a tech, so like I got the block. And I started like celebrating. I saw like the ref out the corner of my eye, so I was like right away I went like that. So it was kind of funny. I like to watch it on video and stuff. But yeah, I'll probably be it.
You mentioned that that kind of won off the backboard against Bismarck Century for third place your junior year. I remember sitting on the baseline and your entire bench was just going off.
Yeah.
In that moment, did you kind of know what it was after it happened, or was it like 15 seconds later, wait, did that just happen? Like, did we just pull that, defense to offense with that type of a pass off the backboard for you to dunk? Well, like, take us through that play one more time.
I'm running like, cause Schafer was the only person back, and I'm running like I'm expecting him like to like a bounce pass, like pass it to me or like oop it, and I see him like throw it off the backboard. I literally say in my head, "Oh crap!" and I jump. I was like, and it just went perfectly right in between my hands. So I was like, "Oh, perfect!" And I like focused and dunked it. Then as soon as I landed, I looked around and just started screaming. I see everybody yelling this and that. I see York. Bart was even like Bart doesn't show that much emotional. I see him like getting lit. I was like, oh yeah, that was crazy.
Tate, you mentioned Bart Manson. What's something that you've learned from your coaching staff that you hope to take with you from that next level here?
They really built my confidence up. Like they told me like to like always be calm. Don't try not to be scared or like, nervous. Like you're a good player. Like they always like build my confidence up. Like, cause sometimes I do get in my head during games and stuff like that, but they always like make me feel good on the court. That's the way to put it. Yeah.
Any superstitions when it comes to like a pregame meal or, listening to a certain song before an opening tip in basketball, or is it let's just go out there and hoop? What do you got here, Alpha?
This like every home game, I take a nap. Then I listen to a rapper called NBA Youngboy. Then during our little meeting, because we go in at the 8-minute mark and come back out, that 8-minute mark, like when everybody's going back, I go and use the bathroom. Like every home game, I go and use the bathroom and I go hoop. That's my little pregame ritual right there.
Final thing for you. I know there's been a number of Fargo Davies players who have been able to play in this particular, event as well here. So what does it mean to kind of be that next generation representing, Davies boys basketball in this particular All-Star game for you?
It feels good, man. I gotta go show out and make Davies proud and make everybody proud. I know like last year when I came to the game, like it was packed. I'm like, oh man, I'm looking around. Everybody's over there. Like for me to be playing in that, such a blessing and a nice thing.
Alpha, congratulations. Best of luck moving forward, and congratulations again on making the Lions Basketball All-Star Series.
Thank you, man.
Joining us now from the Bismarck Century Patriots is Eden Fridley, part of the 2024 North Dakota Lions All-Star Basketball Series. And Eden, I know a lot of people hear the last name Fridley in North Dakota, and they just assume basketball is in your blood. So let's just kind of start there. What does it mean to be nominated to the Lions All-Star Basketball Series here, Eden?
I'm super excited. You grow up watching this game in the summer, and now I get to play with girls that I haven't gotten to play with before, but always have competed against. So I'm so excited, and there's so much talent in North Dakota. So I'm just ecstatic.
You mentioned, having an opportunity to compete. Is there a particular rival that was in the WDA, someone in the East that you didn't get to see too much of, during your high school days that you're excited to have on your side? Is there one or two players in particular?
Not a rival, but I grew up playing with Jersey and Paige and from the West, and I haven't gotten to do that in a long time since little kid travel ball. So I'm super excited to play with them. And then from the East, Brenna Dick, not a rival either, but we're going to college together to play at UMary, and I'm so excited, and I can't wait to play with her, and she's a super good basketball player.
Yeah, let's talk about your commitment to the University of Mary. Why was University of Mary the right choice for you? And also from an athletic point of view, but also from an academic side as well, Eden?
University of Mary just has a really good heart and a really good academic programs, and the people there are just like very, very trustworthy, and you just feel at home when you go to the University of Mary. So I'm super excited about that. But also, when I was super little, my dad used to be the head women's basketball coach at UMary, and Newman was his assistant, and I kind of grew up, and we've been really good family friends. And so you go and tour to visit, and it's kind of a full circle moment. But, I've always felt very comfortable with him, and he's always just been a great source for me. So I'm just super excited to be able to play for him.
How much did that make the commitment just easier, knowing that it's someone that you've known that's kind of been that family friend, but also seeing all the local talent that, Coach Newman and his staff have also brought in, from the area? How much was that kind of like a combination play for you, Eden?
Yeah, Newman does a really good job at recruiting North Dakota girls, and I really admire that. And I think it's super special because, there's so much talent here, and that also just kind of gets overlooked by other schools. So it's really exciting that I get to play with girls from North Dakota when there's so much talent.
Favorite basketball memory of all time? It doesn't have to be necessarily as a player. It can be as a fan. It can be something in between, Eden, here. But when you think of basketball, what's a memory or two that kind of comes to mind for you?
I would say my sophomore and junior year, I got the privilege to play in the state championship game. We ended up losing both of them, but, not everybody gets the opportunity to play on that stage. And I got to play with some of my best friends. And, the atmosphere like that is just some of the coolest games I've ever been a part of. So probably that.
From there, what is something that you've learned from your coaches, during your time that you hope to take with you at the University of Mary?
Coach Wellstead and Coach Thornton have really cool stories from their past and kind of the adversity that they've gone through. And I've gotten the ability to hear that from both of them. And, being a part of Century's culture, you never step on the floor playing for yourself. We play for each other. And especially hearing those stories, you take that with you and you're just very grateful for the things you have. So I think that just every time I step on the floor, there's something bigger than basketball happening in somebody's life. So, you always just have to remember that.
Advice that you would have, Eden, if you could go back 4 or 5 years ago, or to someone who's chomping on the bit to have a chance to play at any varsity sport, when you're a freshman wanting to kind of show your impact on the team, what would be some words of advice if someone wants to be in your shoes as a Lions All-Star basketball player or having an opportunity to play at the next level?
I would say with how good Century's program has been in the past, and now it's all around North Dakota, teams and cultures are getting so much better. I would say the only reason I played at a young age was because of my defense. I wasn't very offensively a standout in any means when I was young. So I would say defense doesn't take a lot of skill. It takes a lot of effort. So just putting that in every time at practice, in gameplay, defense is the most important skill you can have.
And to have an opportunity, I know you're the only Bismarck Century Patriot, on the girls' side that was nominated. But when you moved to University of Mary, you've had Patriot basketball players that maybe you played with or had an opportunity that were a couple grades up. What's that going to be like, kind of rekindling some of those, friendships, if you will, but at the college level?
Yeah, Bergen Kinnerbrew, I obviously played with her, and she's up there right now. And she had a great season last year, and she's a great player, and I'm super excited to be able to play with her again.
Best high school class. What was one class that you enjoyed the most learning about during your time at Century?
I take a class. It's called peer-to-peer. So every day I go to class with a boy that has Down syndrome, and I help him with his math. I've been a part of that for 3 years now. And, it's not really a class. It's kind of, you go hang out with your friends. And those kids have turned into some of my best friends. And the culture at Century and how it's grown from peer-to-peer is just really great to see.
What's the one thing you've learned most about peer-to-peer that if other schools are thinking about something similar? I know the ABLE games from a sports side has really taken off in the state of North Dakota, but from the academic side, peer-to-peer, what's something that you hope that other schools take a look at with your experience here, Eden?
I just think that those kids deserve a chance to be in actual classrooms and communicate with their peers, and they shouldn't be kept away in just one classroom. So I think it's super cool that we get to see them all over the school, and kids outside of peer-to-peer that don't take it treat them like their best friends too. So it's just super cool.
Superstitious at all? Did you have to have like a pregame meal or put the left shoe on before the right shoe? I mean, when it comes to sports, Eden, and any sport that you play, did you have to do something before you took the track or took the court, as an example?
I would say I get a tea and a shake in the morning when I wake up from Active Nutrition here in Bismarck, Good thing I'm not going far, so I can do that again at UMary. And then I really love Poncheros. Always a bowl or a burrito just gets you going.
Last thing for you, Eden. You're heading to the University of Mary for studying again bio and then pre-dental. What just made that kind of be the right fit for you in terms of the academic side? What are you looking forward to most about learning in that particular field?
They're really good with student athletes, and biology can be a really, really packed full course that you have to take in college. So, meeting with the advisors when I was there this past month, they're really cool about, fitting it for the best of your schedule. And I know the teachers, with what I've heard, is really good about that too. So that makes it better for everybody.
Eden, congratulations on being nominated to Lions All-Star Basketball Series, and best of luck here this summer.
Thank you so much.
Joining us from the Bismarck Century Patriots, he is Isaiah Schafer, who has been nominated to the Lions All-Star Basketball Series. And Isaiah, for you to get nominated to an All-Star game like this in North Dakota, what does it mean specifically?
It means the world to me. Just to play with some of the other better players in the state, the best players in the state, and then obviously being coached by Travis Hogan, Coach Brandt will be pretty special. Those two great coaches out east, and to play against some pretty good competition, Class A and Class B, will be really cool.
Yeah, you mentioned, seeing some different coaches, but also you're going to be able to see some different players across the state of North Dakota. When you saw the rosters that came out, Isaiah, was there someone in mind that you're excited to have on your team, or a couple of players that you're excited to not have to guard or have to worry about, so to speak?
Yeah, I grew up playing with Carter Zeller from Fargo North first couple of years AAU, and Coach Hogue was actually our coach then too. So it'll be cool to have Coach Hogue back on my side, instead of playing against him. And then, of course, Carter, he's not fun to play against at all. So it'll be fun to play with him again.
When you kind of take a look at your basketball memory of all time, what's a couple that come to mind off the top of your head here, Isaiah?
Got to take it back to a couple of years ago in playing on the Adidas circuit, when had a night game, showed up and had no clue who we were playing. I look into the other bench and I see Tracy McGrady coaching. So that was pretty special. Just to even play against him, not even talk to him or anything. Obviously had no idea who I was, kid from North Dakota. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, Tracy McGrady, there's a name you don't get to say every day from someone from North Dakota going up against in some capacity. When you take a look at it, Isaiah, what does it mean also from a Bismarck Century point of view to, represent the Patriots? There's been a number of players who have been a Bismarck Century Patriot who've came through this particular, All-Star game. What does it mean to be kind of the next in line and keeping that tradition going?
Yeah, absolutely. Been plenty of All-Stars from Bismarck Century. Last year we had Ryan, Anthony, and Will, who all went on to play college basketball, doing their thing. And going past years, the Feeneys, Trayton Mattern, it's cool just to continue the tradition of Century Patriots playing in this game.
You mentioned college players. You'll be a college player yourself heading down to Southwest Minnesota State University. Just take us through what made that the right fit for you, both from a basketball standpoint, but from an academic standpoint as well.
Yeah, so my oldest brother, Taylor, played there for 5 years and then was a GA there for a year. So being little, watching him down there all the time, it really just gave me a really good feel for it. And the coaching staff and the community surrounds around the sports at Southwest. So it was a pretty easy decision. Coaches helped me along the way, gave me an opportunity, and it was the right decision for me.
And then you're going to be going down there. What's the plan of studies for you too, Isaiah? What's something you're looking to, kind of get your hat on that way?
As of right now, I plan to major in communications and then get a minor in sports psychology.
Take us back, your 14-year-old self, or someone who's coming up through the system that wants to be a varsity player or playing an all-star game like this. What would be some words of advice that you would give, Isaiah, to have someone to be in your shoes, so to speak, 3, 4, or 5 years down the line, having a chance to play collegiately in an all-star game like this in North Dakota?
Yeah, for sure. Along your basketball career, there's going to be a lot of bumps in the roads, going to be ups and downs. And I think the biggest thing for me and the advice I could give was just stay with it. Don't give up on it and just stay with it throughout the years.
Superstitious at all? Did you have to do anything before an opening tip when it came to playing hoops?
Oh, of course. I always had some kind of bag of candy before the game. Had to put on socks and shoes, left foot first, then right foot. Yeah, I prayed before every game. It was a lot of different things. I was actually super superstitious.
Take us through the candy. Like, was it M&M's one game, Skittles the next? What are we talking about?
Oh, it could have been anything. Starburst, Skittles, Airheads. You could name anything. I'd eat it.
When you look back at your time here with, Bismarck Century, what was a class or two that you enjoyed most during your time with Bismarck Century in terms of learning and being a student?
I gotta say psychology again. Psychology is so interesting to me, knowing why you do what you do, one with going on with the brain and stuff. And then some classes, like I took a sports and entertainment marketing class with Troy Olson, so that was really interesting to me too.
From the high school game to the college game, what do you hope to gain as a player in the Lions All-Star Basketball Series, going up against some of the best and, college talent, whether it's hoops or any other sports that you're seeing these athletes? What do you hope to gain for those couple of practices and those two games, Isaiah, before you head to Southwest?
Yeah, I mean, I plan on just having fun, like just having fun with the guys, playing with new teammates and stuff. But I think it'll get me a lot ready because of the physicality that, these players are playing with are no joke and playing against are no joke. A lot of physical guys. And you look at the class A and B teams, and they're big. So I think that'll get me prepared for the next level too.
Isaiah, congratulations on being nominated to Lions All-Star Basketball Series, and best of luck at Southwest Minnesota State coming up in the fall.
Thank you. Appreciate it.